Hello everyone and welcome back to Mix TV mixing and mastering tutorials on YouTube. I'm your host David, and today I'm here at the studio printing some tracks, and I thought while we wait for the full demo video review of the Louder Than Liftoff Chop Shop Eqs, I received some questions because I said I use these to box in my sounds, specifically bass and vocals or drum rooms, before going into my pedals, specifically into my distortion pedals. And some of you guys were curious about how I do it and why I do it, and so this is gonna be like a completely improvised video. I don't have the recorder to actually capture the high quality audio, so I'm just gonna show you quickly how I do it and how I use this for that purpose. The purpose is, and this is also a quick tip, I would say, for when you distort vocals, bass, drum rooms, snares. The trick is box in your sound bandwidth wise before hitting any distortion. It could be a pedal, it could be a plugin, and you can use a plugin EQ to do this. Before I got the Chop Shop EQs, I was doing it with plugins, and I still do sometimes. But this is, as you can see, as you will see, it's easier because you have tactile feeling and you have immediate response. But without further ado, let me show you, and I hope you can hear the audio well. So I have a couple of tracks here. We'll try this with a drum room track with a bass track. So let me try to play the drum room first. I hope the volume is not too high. Okay, so this is the drum room track. Is already heavily compressed and everything, but what I usually do is I send drum rooms tracks like this to any of my distortion pedals. This right now is going to the mini tube screamer, so let me send it to it. I'm gonna mute the dry track, and what happens is the drum room track is going first to this EQ with the patch bay, and from this EQ is going to this chain, and here I can turn on and off my pedals as I please. So right now the Chop Shop EQ is not engaged, so the full bandwidth of the drum room track is going to my tube screamer. So let's play this. This is without. Okay. I know the audio is gonna sound like crap, but it is the concept. Now, what I do with the Chop Shop EQ, which quickly is just a low pass and high pass filter and a tilt EQ. So we cut the highs with this knob, we cut the lows with this knob, and here we have a resonance. So we put the resonance off. Now this is full bandwidth even if I engage it, and now we start to cut the bandwidth, bass and lows and highs, before going to the pedal, and hopefully you can hear how the distortion reacts differently when we cut the bandwidth. Okay, so if I put the drum room track dry back in, I can hear how the filtering before distorting reacts with the dry track. Let's disengage. Got the highs. Okay, so I can make my distortion reacts in a very different way to the material, any material, just by filtering before hitting the distortion pedals. And let's try another pedal. Let's try the American. And let me solo the drum room track. I hope the audio is gonna be usable with this phone. Let's disengage. More aggressive distortion. So you got the concept, and you can do this with, I do this with vocals and bass and everything else. Let's go back to the Ibanez and let me try a bass sound. Okay. So this is the bass sound dry. I'm again now sending it to the Chop Shop and then the distortion pedals. If you listen to the low end, especially filtering the low end before hitting pedals, especially if they are guitar pedals, changes on bass the tone so drastically. See, now we have the tube screamer, which sounds almost like a fuzz. If I filter the lows, I get that mid-rangey sound. And this, the high cut, is very useful for bass and vocals if you have noise, because when you run shit through pedals, noise, it's usually a problem. So maybe you can hear that noise. Not noise. I hope you can hear it. See how it changes if we filter the lows? And if we inject the dry signal with it, again we can hear how it interacts with the dry signal. Full bandwidth. So yeah, the concept is any pedal, no matter how simple it is, if you filter the signal before hitting the distortion, you get so much more versatility. And of course you can filter on the way back in, which I do usually. You can do both. You can filter only after the distortion, but it actually, I find better to filter before hitting the distortion pedals, because it changes more. You have more impact. You have more control in that way. Let's try the Rat. Let's mute the dry signal. This would be the Rat full bandwidth. Even just the amount of distortion that you can create is different. Okay, and the same for vocals. I'm not gonna play all the tracks that I usually distort, but yeah. Let me see. We have a vocal somewhere. This should be one.
It was true for finding you wanted to fill up bliss, cause I don't you.
This will be dry.
To control, you're manipulated, and you can even see it.
Tube screamer.
Your life is the way you're running.
And now we filter it.
It was the truth and frightening.
Especially the highs.
You want to feel a bliss, cause when I press you are easier to control. You're manipulating, and you can even see it. Your life is the way you're running out of time. He wants to be frightening. He wants to feel a bliss, cause when I press you are easier to control. You're manipulated, and you can even see it. Your life is...
See how a simple EQ like this, if you combine it with pedals and different effects, even delays or reverb or shit like that, it gives you such a powerful tool to change the tone with just 4 knobs. Actually 3. I mean, the resonance is very useful, but if you don't have that, it's still amazing the amount of flexibility and how many different tones you can get just by using a high pass and a low pass filter and a tilt. So yeah, this is the way one of the ways that I use the Chop Shop EQs. And yeah, through Patch Bay, I go out from Pro Tools, I insert one of these, and Pro Tools asks you to go out and go back in the same channel. So from here I take the signal of the Chop Shop output and send it to my reamp, one of my 2 reamps, and from there in the pedals back in the same channel where the Chop Shop EQ is. And all you need to do, let me see if I can focus, I just need to insert, see, my Chop Shop insert here. And I have no fucking idea if this video will turn out usable because of the audio. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to be here today. I'm just fucking around printing tracks, and I thought, let me try to do this improvised video and see how it turns out, if the audio is useful or not. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, Brad at Louder Than Liftoff for sending me these, and of course the actual demo video with good audio of these 2 babies is coming. So stay tuned. If you like this video, click the like button. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you next time, guys.